Welcome, everyone. I'm Frances Fisher, and it's my honor as chairwoman of the Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens to welcome you to an evening of music and art in the gardens on this glorious South Florida evening. I hope you all had an opportunity to stroll this magnificent place of wonder, serenity, and joy. This is our annual opportunity to celebrate those who shaped this organization, our community, and our country through their stewardship of Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens. I'd like to especially recognize our trustee and this evening's honoree, Sarah McCann, and her husband, Jim. They continue to devote their visionary leadership every step of the way to the growth of ANSG with innumerable contributions of their talent, time, and support. We look forward to celebrating their remarkable devotion with our presentation of the award this evening. Our National Advisory Council is comprised of a distinguished circle of ambassadors gathered here for the second time from throughout the country. They've joined together with our board to help the Gardens fulfill its mission to enrich lives with nature, art, and history, and put a national spotlight on the legacy of Ann Norton with mutual collaborations with other cultural and nonprofit partners. A wonderful welcome back to our council members. We're grateful to each of you. We also join in thanking our presenting corporate sponsors for the Gardens Conservancy from CIBC Private Wealth Management, including Trustee Diane McNeil, National Practice Leader, and Managing Director of the Florida Market, Gina Sabian. On behalf of our board and the Gardens Conservancy, we thank you both for your generosity. ANSG would not be the special place it is for all the community and the visitors that are welcomed here without the leadership of Managing Director Margaret Horgan and the very extraordinary staff. Thank you, Margaret. ANSG is proud to have an amazing partnership with the Palm Beach Modern and Contemporary Fair, founded and led by Nick Korniloff and Pamela Cohen. The Gardens is the official cultural partner of the fair, which opens tomorrow evening, and I hope you'll all join us for this incredible show. It's the most important fair hosted here in the Palm Beaches. Through this partnership, we're also welcoming Rhonda and Nicole Longsharp from Longsharp Galleries back to ANSG to debut the exhibition titled Sculpt Her, including 4 outstanding living female artists from different countries showcased in the Norton House Gallery. Thank you to Nick and Pamela again for all you do for ANSG. Your devotion to the arts is absolutely off the charts. We also have another very special partnership with Holden Luntz Gallery and owners Jody and Holden Luntz. We are overflowing with gratitude for their friendship and inspiration for our exhibits, and especially their love of the gardens over many years. Thank you, Jody and Holden. It's through Jody and Holden, as well as our partnership with Nick and Pamela, that we've welcomed our artist in residence this year, the greatest photojournalist of all time, the iconic Harry Benson. Harry and his wife Gigi have been incredible to work with, and this exhibition is show-stopping. Harry and Gigi, we're amazed by you, and we have a little gift of appreciation. Renaissance, led by our board 9 years ago, the foundation of this organization, our Gardens Conservancy, was formed. Since its inception, membership and partnerships for the Conservancy continue to thrive under the leadership of Chairwoman Susan Wright. And on that note, I'm pleased to introduce my dear friends, fellow trustee Susan Wright, and presenting sponsor of the Gardens Conservancy, trustee Diane McNeil.
As we celebrate tonight amongst Anne Norton's monumental sculptures and rare tropical gardens, we know Anne Norton thought big throughout her life and lasting legacy for our community. All that has been accomplished through our Gardens Conservancy to activate and engage this magical place for so many residents and visitors with creativity and joy is a result of our dedicated board and our dedicated supporters, and for them we are truly grateful. Let me assure you that tonight's evening's honoree, my fellow trustee, Sarah McCann, thinks big. As a philanthropist and business leader, Sarah has served Palm Beach County for over 20 years. With her entrepreneurial spirit and collaboration, she has helped to inspire our residents, their family, and our visitors in a time of the largest growth in Florida history. Sarah is the founder and creative director of Hive Collective, a collection of brands devoted to luxury products and high-quality services with many, and I say many, tremendously successful expansions during the last few years. Her vision and her talent has taken a prominent presence in our growing region and resonates nationally. In 2020, Sarah was awarded the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur Award. In 2022, Sarah was honored as an American Free Enterprise Companion Medalist by Palm Beach Atlantic University. And she continues to be recognized year after year in top publications throughout Florida as one of Palm Beach County's most influential business leaders. While Sarah is out of state this evening on a family matter, we are honored and so pleased to have her wonderful and gracious husband, Jim, accept this award as a tribute to both Sarah and Jim for their service and generosity. Together, they have been a dynamic force behind the growth of the Anne Norton Sculpture Gardens and as an historic and cultural treasure for many, many years. Tonight, we honor Sarah and Jim for their generous hearts and continued leadership. Jim, will you please join us as we present the Anne Norton Award for Philanthropy. It is our privilege to present this lovely award in honor of Sarah and Jim. Congratulations.
Thank you, Susan and Francis. Thank you very much. On behalf of Sarah, I want to thank you for that award and for putting this beautiful evening together. The board and all the staff here at the Sculpture Gardens does an amazing job, and such a community service to all of us. We appreciate it. I'm sorry Sarah couldn't be here tonight, and I talked with her earlier in the day. I said, Sarah, would you mind if I just spoke extemporaneously? And she, you could almost see that, you could feel that there was fear in her voice. She said, no, let me prepare something and I'll get it to you. So she has prepared some comments. I might go on for 45 minutes if not for her comments. So I'm going to just read what she prepared for us. And so this is Sarah. She's very sorry she's not here tonight. Thank you to the Anne Norton Sculpture Garden and to all in attendance here tonight. I am honored to be the recipient of the Anne Norton Sculpture Garden Philanthropy Award. I've enjoyed serving on its board for several years. When Francis asked if I'd consider joining, it was an easy yes. Our family was first introduced to the Sculpture Gardens through our daughter Caroline, who attended Palm Beach Day Academy just to the north, and she and her classmates enjoyed many visits to the Sculpture Gardens with classmates over the years. I see some of the parents who were in attendance for those early years. The Sculpture Garden and the Palm Beach Day Academy have been great partners in education over those many years. I have been in awe of the accomplishments of the board under Francis's leadership, from the restoration of the sculptures to the renovation of the main house and the artist cottage. The Sculpture Garden is more vibrant than ever and is a true community resource with an ever-growing number of offerings and events. We are delighted and proud to participate in the ongoing support of such a wonderful organization and all it does for our community. Once again, thank you all very much. Anybody got a tow truck? Wow, thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, we thank Sarah and thank Jim and how incredible you have been every year that we have grown here. And so please tell Sarah we're sending the video of your remarks. They were wonderful. And I now have the great privilege of making the very best kind of announcement any organization could enjoy. And that is in celebration of the vice chairwoman of our board, Sally Soder. When the Gardens formed its board, Sally was the first to step up and volunteer to spearhead recognition of this important historic site and all of its potential as a cultural legacy for the community, in keeping with Ann Norton's vision. Over the years, Sally and her husband Bill have gifted their resources, their talents, and their connections nationwide to bring much needed visibility, strategic leadership for events, and the shaping of an exhibition program through Sally's chairmanship of the Art Committee for many years. 3 years ago, Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens decided to publicly launch a capital initiative titled Protecting a Legacy. This encompasses more than $5 million in capital improvements to the property, as Jim referenced, including conservation of all 9 of Ann Norton's monumental sculptures, the artist studio, the restoration of the Norton House, a cornerstone welcome garden along Flagler Drive, as well as an environmental classroom and magical pollinator garden. These are among the key pieces that leave this historic property in exceptional shape to serve this organization and our visitors for the future. With Sally's vision, the Gardens is announcing yet another major gift to our continuing preservation plans with the naming of the historic Orchid House and new plaza as a centerpiece of educational, cultural, and horticultural programming and events. Sally could not be with us this evening, but on behalf of the Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens board and staff, our Gardens Conservancy leadership, and our guests gathered here tonight, we're honored by Sally. The Orchid House and Plaza are glowing and ready to welcome you. In fact, we have it all lit up tonight. It really is magical. That leads us to another exciting piece of our program. As I mentioned, for many, many years, Jody and Holden Luntz have been wonderful supporters of the Gardens. They bring a gentle spirit that's strategic to everything we have done together. And I know Holden and Jody have enjoyed representing Harry Benson for well over 30 years. No one can speak to Harry's work and to Harry and Gigi personally better than Holden and Jody. Holden, would you join us?
I want to thank Frances Fisher, I want to thank Sally Soder, and I would like to thank everybody that had a part in Harry Benson's show here at the Ann Norton Sculpture Garden. It's a real honor for you to have done a show for him, and I think it's a beautiful show. I hope everybody here gets to see the work. I was asked to make some introductory comments to introduce the work of Harry Benson, and I said I'd love to do it because it's basically a pretty easy job to do, and I like easy jobs. If you know anything about photography, if you collect photography, if you follow visual images, you'll already know about Harry Benson. And he has a lot of publicity, and he's well known, and he's a part-time resident in Palm Beach County. But if you don't know him by name, if you go through any of his sort of 17 books, you'll know some of the images that are in the books. Harry Benson is, simply put, probably the greatest living photojournalist in his generation. He's been given honorary doctorates throughout the world. He's been made a commander of the British Empire. He's been given a Lucy and Infinity Award. If you know about photography, that's like the Academy Awards and the Emmys. And he's been the subject of a feature-length documentary, Don't Shoot. If you haven't seen it, it's available on demand, and it's really good. I'd like to give you a short context for Harry's career. Long before there were social media accounts, before there was the internet, before there were digital images, before there were satellites that beamed pictures instantaneously throughout the world, and before there were iPhones where everybody was busy chronicling their life on a full-time basis, there were great magazines and newspapers. And these are how we knew about the world. And starting in the late 1950s, Harry worked, he's a Scottish guy who worked in London started with the London Daily Sketch. And throughout the years, he worked through Life magazine, Esquire, Vanity Fair, GQ, French Vogue. Anywhere you looked, there was Harry's pictures. Harry always made a point of getting to the center of the action and knowing what to do once he was there. He has a huge number of news-in-the-making photographs through his 60-plus year career. And I think Harry intuitively understood not only the power of photography, but our fascination with it. And he had a very durable career. He could shoot a famous celebrity, he could shoot a riot, an assassination, a parade, president. He was equally good at doing all of this. He had a passion for being a great photographer, and for 60 years, the world was full of his great images. I think there's a sort of a package deal that I have to tell you, which is with Harry, you get Gigi. Gigi Benson has been at Harry's side since the beginning. And while Harry was busy, he said, taking pictures so that he could put money on the table, Gigi ran his career. So Gigi has worked tirelessly to build an amazing career for Harry, and for Jody and I, and for Gabriel here, that we've worked for Harry for 20, 25 years, for Harry and Gigi, and we're honored to call them friends and very proud of their work. I'd also like to say really quickly what makes Harry's work particularly satisfying to me. I've been in this business all my life, and looking at the last 20, 25 years, something very special occurs to me about Harry's work, that he's always looked for the essence in a picture. Harry's told me that his job was taking pictures, and his job was also that pictures ought to inform. In the last 2 decades, we've watched a lot of photographers producing pictures with Photoshop that are self-consciously arty, that have been manipulated, and basically some of them seem very egocentric. But Harry's work is quite different. It's very direct. It's the way photojournalism was meant to be. His pictures are very honest and unambiguous, and they're never self-indulgent. They always feel right to me. I think that the 2 images that you're looking at, which is the Beatles and Ed Sullivan Show and Dolly Parton, are 2 really good examples of how Harry can make a picture that can live in our imaginations and our memories and still create an accurate image and record of the subject. In other words, his photographs transcend time. And if you really look for what's great about a photography, what's a memorable photograph, it's something that transcends time and transcends space. And Harry's able to do that time and time and time again. He has a sort of amazing career, an amazingly rich repertoire of pictures to draw from. So I know this is a wonderful auction, and it's a really great cause. And the Norton Sculpture Garden has been very, very supportive to us, and we're so happy that it's here. And I just hope that you bid with great abandon. So I'm supposed to turn it over to Rika Baca now. And I've known Rico for years. He is the preeminent auctioneer in Palm Beach County. He's been here and he's built Palm Beach Modern Auctions and Urban Culture Auctions and Palm Beach Modern Gallery. It's been his passion for the last 40 years. So he's been at it just as long as I've been at it. He's an amazing auctioneer, and I've said enough and taken up enough of your time, so I'm going to pass it over to Rico.
Thanks, Holden. You stole my thunder by talking about Gigi, because that's what I was going to be my introduction, was talking about Gigi. I met Harry and Gigi years ago through Susan Lloyd, and they're quite the couple. So tonight we have these 2 pictures. The first one we're going to auction off is going to be Dolly Parton. Image in the room at $15,000. No further advances from $14,000 to $15,000. Going once, twice, sold, $14,000. And our next picture will be the Beatles picture. We have an opening bid of $5,000. Now looking for $15,000. Thank you.
So I want to again thank Holden and Jody and Rico, and especially Harry and Gigi. We appreciate it so much. It means the world to the gardens. I now have the great pleasure of introducing the amazing Margaret Horgan.
Hi, everyone. It's so wonderful to see all you exceptional stewards of Van Norton Sculpture Gardens all gathered here together tonight. It's now time for the live portion, the live music portion of our evening. I have the great pleasure of introducing the legendary Nicholas King, who has been performing since he was 4 years old. He's an actor-singer who has performed on Broadway with the likes of Liza Minnelli and Tom Selleck. And he is an exceptional champion of the Great American Songbook. So please join me in welcoming Nicholas King.
This is a song that Bobby Darin recorded a number of years ago. It's kind of the song that put him on the map. And you see, what had happened was he had discovered it in 1960, and he recorded it in 1961. But the record label, I love this story, the record label said, you can't record it. And they gave him 3 reasons why. First, they said in 1961, the song was too old. It was 40 years old at the time. They said, forget it, the kids will never buy it. Secondly, they said, well, the song's big band sounding, and you've already had 3 rock and roll hits, and rock and roll is in, and big band's dead, and the kids will never buy it. You can't, you know. And third, my favorite, they thought the song was, and I quote, too violent and gruesome in nature, and that it, wait for it, and that it violated their strict moral code as a company. Isn't that something? Clearly they've loosened up on some of these codes. It's no longer the same. But Bobby had this idea, so he changed some of the lyrics, but he kept his, you know, his idea, his gut feeling, his gut instinct was to go with this song, and boy, are they glad they let him do it. This song went on to become #1, and everybody in the world recorded it, and it made them all a lot of money. Here's the song that almost didn't see the light of day. This is the one. Oh, the shark bites pearly teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Not just a jackknife, where's old Mac Keith, dear? He keeps it hidden far out of sight. Don't you know when that shark bites with his teeth, baby? Starlit billows, they start to spread. Fancy gloves, though, where's old Mac Keith, dear? So you know there ain't never a trace of red. Let's move up on this thing, shall we? You know there's a sidewalk Sunday morning, don't you know? There lies a body just oozing all life. Somebody sneaking round the, come on and now. Could it be our boy, old Mac the Knife? Yeah, now there's a tugboat down by the river going slow with a good old cement bag. That guy's just drooping on down. Now that cement's only there just for the way it is. He knows 5 will get you 10, right? Oh, Mac is back in town. Now, did you hear about Louis Miller? Yeah, guess he disappeared now, but not before drawing out the bread from his stash. And now my Keith spins just like a second girl. And now, could it be our boy's done something rash? And I said, if you should plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, he winds from Chicago to L.A. Now, it's more than 2,000 miles all the way. Yeah, come on and get your kicks on Route 66. Now, here's the deal. You go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? Yeah, when you make your California trip, come on and get your kicks up on Route 66. And then here's what happened. He said, look, if you know about jazz songs, there's one gal you gotta know now. If you know about jazz and swinging songs, there's one gal you gotta know. She's the first lady of song, Miss Ella. We love her so. Ella Fitzgerald would go. And I said, well, all right, okay, you win. I'm in love with you. Well, all right, okay, you win. Baby, what can I do? I'll do anything you say. It's just got to be that way. Well, all right, I'll go, okay. You win. I'm in love with you. All right, okay. You win. baby, one thing more. If I'm gonna be your man, sweet baby, take me by the hand. I said, all that I am asking, all I want from you is just love me like I love you, and it won't be hard to do. All right, okay, you ain't we are. That's Rich Schweitzer. Mr. Val Schaefer on the upright bass. That's Miss Julie Jacobs on the drums. You should plan to mow the west. You gotta travel my way. Take the highway, that's the big and the gas. Come get your kicks on Route 66 now. Well, won't you go to LA? Yes, it's more than to go, more than to go, more than 2,000 miles the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. And you're gonna go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri. OK City is mighty pretty. You're gonna see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Buster, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to my timely tip now? When you ain't in Vegas, when you make a California trip, yeah, come on and get your kicks up on Route 66. Whoa, go, go, go. Stay alive on Route 95. Whoa, get things done on Route 1. Whoa, no clouds of gray on that old Dixie highway. Yeah, 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 yeah. But get your kicks up on Route 66. You got your kicks on 66. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.